This is Janelle Ann San Juan, and I will be reading and analyzing the poem Dalit ng Paslit by Benilde S. Santos. Dalit ng Paslit, Benilde S. Santos. Tay, sa isip ko lang to sinulat. Sinulat ko to kahapon, pero sinulat ko uli ngayon kasi talagang nahihirapan na ako. Mula nung mamatay ka, nang lumubog yung barkong sinasakyan mo. At si nanay, sumama sa tricycle driver dyan sa kanto. Naiwan ako kay Tiyo. Di niya ako pinapasok sa school. Sa bahay lang daw. Kaya pala, dadalhin niya yung mga kaibigan niya rito. Sa gabi, alam mo, maingay sila at lasing. Sabi nila, nung isang gabi, "Ba, pwede na tong alaga mo, Lazaro." Tiningnan nila ako, Tay. Sabi, "Laro lang ha, huwag kang matatakot." Tapos tawa sila ng tawa. Lahat kami humiga. Tapos madilim. Tapos umaga na. "Hoy," sabi ni Tiyo. "Tayo ay pupunta ngayon sa Maynila. Magbalot ka ng mga damit mo." Pero di ako makabangon. Tumingala lang mang sa kisame. Nagbilang ng pako. May kalawang ang lahat. Sa Maynila, marami pang pinapasok si Tiyong mga lalaki. Malakas tumawa. Maraming pera sa bulsa. May mabaho. Meron naman mabango. Meron mataba. May payat. May malinis. May katulad ni Tiyong sumisinga sa sahig. Lalo nang dumalas ang pagtingala ko sa kisame. Naging isang salamin. Kita ko dun yung lahat. Ang ginagawa namin sa sahig. Tay, magsusumbong na ako talaga. Kasi 2 taon na at saka lumalaki ang salamin. Dumaraming nakikita. Tsaka di na ako makabangon. Mabigat na yung puson ko, Itay. Pabigat ng pabigat, Tay. Parang buong Maynila. Alam mo. So, the theme of the poem is changes and struggles brought upon the cruelty of reality in life. In the lines, nahihirapan na ako mula nung mamatay ka, nung lumubog yung barkong sinasakyan mo. These lines at the start of the poem show how this person is explaining how her suffering has started ever since the death of her father. Death is a part of reality and the cycle of life, and it's inevitable. Death of a parent, especially the one that you most depend on, can trigger negative aspects that may descend upon your life. And the tone of the poem was misery, or showed how miserable she was. And especially in the lines, alam mo ba? These lines, especially because they're the last lines, showed how much agony that the person is in. It's also as if she's questioning her father on how, if only he knew, and if only he was alive, would things be different for her. And the mood was tense and painful. In the lines, Tay, magsusumbong na ako talaga. Kasi 2 taon na at saka lumalaki ang salamin, dumaraming nakikita. Tsaka di na ako makabangon. These lines showed how she's had enough and her suffering is becoming too much for her and she can't handle what's happening to her anymore. And the literary devices used were foreshadowing and irony. First of all, irony, especially in the lines, "Naiwan ako kay Tiyo. Di niya ako pinapasok sa school. Sa bahay lang daw." We could see the irony in these lines because due to her being abandoned by her mother and the death of her father, as a family member she has left, it was her uncle's responsibility to take care of her and make sure she has a positive future and be responsible for her. But unfortunately, in the end, all he did was bring hurt and suffering upon her. And as for foreshadowing, especially in the lines, "Tsaka di na ako makabangon, mabigat na yung puson ko, Itay. Pabigat ng pabigat, Tay. parang buong Maynila. These lines foreshadow that she has already become pregnant and how she actually feels about this pregnancy. For her, it seems to be a heavy burden for her, and a heavy burden for her, and we could see how difficult this is for her. And my realization, or how I reacted to this poem, was that this poem showed how difficult it is to be left by your parents, and even though you may be left with your relatives, it doesn't always assure you of comfort and security in life. It also describes the cruelty of life due to the need for income or the enjoyment of others. It also showed a perspective of those forced into prostitution and how it feels for one who has no choice. Life is cruel, and it is difficult to say how this cruelty will appear in your life and how you will experience it. And unfortunately, it is unavoidable. But we can never know how people like this feel until we've experienced the same. Or as the saying goes, you can't know how I feel until you've walked in my shoes. I enjoyed the poem because it gave me a view of how cruel life could be, especially for those who lose their parents. And it shows the negative characteristics of other people, especially family members. And so, thank you.